Should have made my tea first. Yummy. Let's do this. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. That took way too much energy. I can't do that again. It's Tuesday, the 13th. It is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I am home. So that can only mean one thing. Teacher took a sick day. I actually took a half day. So that is what we are going to talk about today for this classroom chat. This episode of Classroom Chat is sick days and why you should be taking them. And we're going to do some tips and tricks on how to get over them quickly, because I feel like I try my hardest, build my immune system up and, you know, get my body ready for the different viruses and flus and everything that comes at you as a teacher. My immune system top notch. So I feel like I've done a really, really good job with that. So I do want to do a little disclaimer. What all's happening with my hot mess of a self, actually due to seasonal allergies. I get a sinus infection almost every single time the season changes in Indiana. And it drives me crazy. More like when we're changing from cold to hot or hot to cold. And right now we're kind of in this weird little lull where we kind of get some warm weather every now and then, so I can just absolutely see why this is flaring up. And boom, I have this terrible sinus infection. It's the worst. Like, it is. I wanted to make this today because some of you are probably thinking, girl, you should be in bed. Yeah, you're right. Should be. But I did want to make this really quickly while it was fresh in my mind and while I was doing all of these things to show you guys, you know, what I do to prepare myself for sick days and, or if you can't prepare yourself, what happens then, and yada, yada, yada. So all about this classroom chat today is sick days. So the first thing I want to tell you is kind of what happened this morning, because I actually ended up taking a half day. I went into work this morning. I knew I was feeling bad, but I really wasn't sure if it was going to be like a full-blown sinus infection yet. It kind of creeped up on me. Felt a little bit bad yesterday on Monday, and then I just knew going into work today, I need to tough it out. Second, I need to blow my nose. I wasn't sure of the extreme of the cold or sinus infection, head cold, however you want to say it. Got to school, was feeling terrible, not function. The kids were like fending for themselves. Thank goodness I had our tech integration specialist come in and say that somebody had dropped her of doing a lesson, so or had canceled. So she asked me if she wanted to do a lesson in my room. Oh my gosh, you are sent from the Lord. Yes, I'm just gonna sit over here and I'm gonna listen and watch. She basically took my class over for about an hour and a half, which was way longer than what she normally did, but she is amazing and did that for me this morning. So that was wonderful. But, you know, as I was going through, I was getting worse and worse and worse, and I'm like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna talk to you guys about it, and I also wanted to get your take on it, is, you know, at what point do you realize that you need to stay home, or what point do you realize you need to go home if you're already at school? Because I can tell you, it's really, really hard to just go home if you're still in the classroom. I wouldn't have done it if my coworkers wouldn't have pushed me to. Like, you have the days. You know, as a teacher, you have sick days. You need to use them, and, you know, don't feel bad even if we don't have any subs, or even if we have to split your class up, which I hate the thought of, because then that's ruining everybody else's routines. Like, this guilty conscience. And that's something that I'm really struggling with as a teacher still, is when to take your sick day. I have a good number of sick days, and my coworker said it's literally just a half day. Like, take the half day, see how you feel. Well, then as the day progresses, I really wanted to just take the whole day off tomorrow. Like, that's what I really wanted, is to just tough it out today and then take the whole day off on Wednesday. But then I remembered that I had an SOS meeting, and that is a very important meeting for our interventions for our kiddos that are struggling. And I have been waiting for months for this meeting, because we actually have a ton of SOS meetings packed this year of different kids. So I finally got my chunk of kids, my time taken out for my 3 boys, and that is tomorrow. To be there, or it's gonna throw everything off. Like, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take tomorrow morning off too, so we can take a half day. So I took a half day today PM, and tomorrow I'm gonna take a half day AM so I can kind of sleep in, and that's kind of like my full day, and hopefully that'll be enough for me to get by. So as a first year teacher, it's very, very hard. And for all of those first year teachers or student teachers out there, it is very, very hard to leave your class. You get so like into these systems, and you feel guilty that you're not there, and that you know that they're not gonna get the level of instruction and attention that they need from a sub. And so you feel extremely guilty for not being there. But it's one of those things that you have to take care of yourself first. Listen to your body, and you know, if you need to stay home, you need to stay home. You need to use those days. Now I know everybody's different and every school is different and how they manage that, but you know, for us, if we have a sick day, the school takes care of it, and you know, you don't have to worry about getting your own sub or anything. So I, you know, went ahead and put it into our sub system online, and I left school. I left a bunch of plans as best as possible, mini lessons, and I had some worksheets. So I had plans available, and I also have emergency sub plans. So I just pulled from that and stuck it on my table. Not as pretty as if I were, you know, going out of town or, you know, having a sub for a different reason. If I knew that I was going to be sick, easier to say, okay, I can go home. I have a ton of stuff for them to do. The kids will be fine. Like, they will be fine. It's one day out of your 180 days or however many days you go to school. You have to take care of yourself first and foremost. So let me know your opinions on sick days or how your school does it down in the comments below. But now I'm going to kind of jump into, okay, well, how do you get over your sickness? How do you go home? What do I do when you go home? Do I just crash out on the couch? What do I do to, you know, ramp up my immune system? I have like a list of things in my brain. Whenever I start getting sick, I'm like, okay, so let's go through them. Like, check. Help me get through whatever sickness I have very quickly. Now, I will say that I am a very, oh my gosh, Lacey, it was me, baby. I thought I was somebody. It's me. See? It's me. She still thinks it's somebody at the door. It's mommy. It's mommy. Yeah, it's mommy. I'm so sorry. I can't. Let's not do that anymore. Knock on wood. I'm a very healthy person. What do? I immediately drink apple cider vinegar, you know, at the thought or feeling that I am getting sick. And that's what I did on Sunday. Yesterday, I've actually been doing that for a few days now. Drinking apple cider vinegar and lemon. It's just so good for you. I do some essential oils. I do have 3 that I have like proven help you feel better instantly and helps strengthen your immune system. I'm not sponsored by any of these things. These are literally just what I've been doing for years. Every time I get sick, I do all of these things and I feel better, or it gets over it in like a few days or a week. Like, I'm never out for longer than 2 days, ever. Actually, as a teacher, I've never been out for longer than 2 days. Fingers crossed, these techniques have been working for me. First one is eucalyptus, and I also pair them with peppermint and then tea tree oil. So I like to use the tea tree and peppermint, kind of rub them on my nasal sinus areas, like where you feel pressure, also on your wrist and on your temples. And then right now I have tea tree oil, kind of purifies the air, going in my essential oil diffusers all over my house. And then I actually just bought this today from Target, so I'm going to be trying eucalyptus on my sinus cavity as well. It smells so good. Like, even just smelling this stuff, it just opens up your airways. It's great. That all day long. I even take the essential oils to school and kind of apply them if I feel like I need something. Another thing that I'm super big on doing is tea and kind of the medicinal teas. And so this one is called the Seasoned Sampler. I also do the traditional medicines, or traditional medicinals. That's really hard to say. I also have an Echinacea tea that is super awesome. This one is Echinacea, but it has some other stuff in there too. The Echinacea with lemon is really, really good too. And Greg and I both swear by this. Like, Greg doesn't do the essential oils or anything, but he loves the tea. He loves to drink the tea because you just feel better instantly, and it really helps with strengthening your immune system. Like, you feel like you're gonna get over this sickness in a few days. And so I highly recommend these teas. And this little box was like $4.99 or $5.99, I can't remember, at Target. So I will link all of this stuff. I'll see if I can find it on Amazon and link it for you guys just now. So let's just have a little taste. And probably the best advice I have to give you as a teacher, I definitely do the airborne for sure. Like if you're a teacher, get yourself some airborne. Have it at school, put it in your purse, put it at home, in your medicine cabinet, put it on your counter, take it every morning. I'm just kidding, it's too expensive to take every morning. But when you have like that most inkling, you're feeling a little bit sick, take some airborne. And I actually take this when I'm full-blown sick, like now. Take this like 4 times a day is kind of the recommended serving. So yeah, this stuff is created by teachers and it is absolutely phenomenal with just like killing, I don't want to say killing, that's the wrong word, first of vitamin C's and minerals to help keep you healthy. So definitely highly, highly recommend airborne. I've heard emergency is, you know, good too. Taking your vitamin C is good, but I have just tried and true airborne, you know, 4 times a day when you're feeling sick and you'll feel so much better for sure. Some people don't like the taste of it, but I just think it tastes like watered down orange juice. I don't like sip on it, I just gulp it and then get to the tea because the tea is better, you know, let's be honest. The thing that I do is take baths. So I take Epsom salt baths, and if you're not a bath person, then maybe this might not, you know, pertain to you, but Epsom salt actually pulls toxins out of your body. So I always take Epsom salt baths to de-stress anyways and to feel more relaxed. But especially when I'm sick, I'm gonna plop into this bath like right after this video. Right after I'm done filming today, I'm gonna go take an Epsom salt bath. And I actually have a eucalyptus one in there, and I might put some more essential oils in the bath anyways. Like light a candle and zen out. And it's just, it's so good for you to just like zen out, especially when you're sick. Because then you're just allowing the Epsom salt to take over and like suck all the bad stuff out of your body. That's gross, but you know, it is what it is. Very lastly, I wanted to talk to you guys about sleep. It is so important for teachers to get sleep anyways. I mean, you should be getting more than 8 hours of sleep. And they say like 7 to 9 hours. No, I'm saying for teachers, you need to get more than 8 hours of sleep. When you're sick, you need a ton of sleep. So don't be afraid to go home and just like veg out and sleep. All afternoon, all through the night, and all throughout the next morning is definitely what I'm going to be doing. So I feel like teachers need a ton of sleep anyways, but especially when you are a teacher and you are homesick, you need to get better fast so you can get back to school as soon as possible. That is all that's running through my brain. I don't know if this was helpful. It's kind of like my sick routine and what I do whenever I'm feeling sick, and then kind of like my little spiel on if you feel sick, take the day off, and you know, don't be afraid to leave your kids. That's the main thing is, you know, I feel like teachers get so guilty and they, you know, they don't want to leave their kids, but you know, it'll be okay. They're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine the next day. They're probably gonna be crazy, so definitely keep that in mind from getting out of routine and, you know, with a new sub or people in the classroom, especially if they have to split your class like they did with mine. You know, top priority is that you have to keep yourself healthy as a teacher. Don't feel bad. This video, a thumbs up if you are going to use some of these tips, or you do use some of these tips already as a teacher when you start feeling sick. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another classroom chat or balance vlog. And then I also do weekly vlogs. I upload them on Saturdays. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye. I'm gonna eat now and drink the rest of my tea and go take a bath and then sleep for the rest of the day. Oatmeal always makes me feel better. Comfort food. Okay.